Hey, what's going on, guys? Justin Augustine here, online fitness instructor. Today I'm going to teach you about how to calculate your macros and pretty much the calories you should be eating depending on whether you want to lose weight or gain weight. Now, let's first start off with step number one, which is pick your gender, and your activity level. Why is because men and women, we obviously, we're biologically not the same. So women tend to need more fat on their body. Men tend to not, right? In terms of activity level, this is different based on everyone. Doesn't really matter what gender you are, but I usually like to go off of 3 different activity levels. So the activity levels I want you to think with are lightly active, moderately active, and very active, right? So each of these, how I describe each of these. So lightly active, I'd say maybe you work in an office and outside of work, you do nothing else. Meaning that's pretty much the only thing you do. Maybe you'll walk around the house, but pretty much you work in the office, you work in a slow-paced environment, right? Moderately active, sounds crazy, but moderately active, hey, you go to the gym 3 to 6 days a week, right? And you guys could be wondering, like, hey, what separates someone that's moderately active from someone that's very active, right? And I'm going to show you that right now. So you do the gym, right? You do these 3 to 6 days a week, as well as some sort of sports training, meaning, in other words, you burn at least, like a swimmer, you burn around like 2,000, 2,500 calories a day. And how do you know if you do that? Hey, you go to the gym for an hour, and then maybe you're in college, or maybe you're in the NBA or football or whatever you're in, right? And you not only go to the gym, but you do a lot of other high intensity training and practicing outside of it, right? That's who I've described as someone that's very active. Now, why do you need this data? Why do you need to pick which one you are, male or female, that's lightly active, moderately active, or very active? Well, these are going to be what gives you the staple, and this is what is going to give you the number that is also known as your TDEE, total daily energy expenditure, which is how many calories do you need to consume on a daily basis to maintain your specific body weight, homeostasis, and pretty much muscle mass and lean mass, okay? Okay, now the numbers for that are, I'll just put them right here. If you're lightly active and you are a female, you're gonna be picking 13. If you're a male, 14. And then we're just gonna go up by 1. So female, 14, male, 15, female, 15, male, 16. And these also have to do with whether you're an endomorph, ectomorph, or mesomorph, but that's a little bit more detailed. And what I would initially start off with is one of these 3. It's a little bit more basic, and it's gonna help you from there on. But figure it out, think in your head, which one are you? Once you have that, hold that number or write that number down, right? Okay. I'm gonna just erase this. Once you have the number, you can obviously rewind to get the number if you don't have it already. Now, step number 2, calculate your DCI, or what I call, or some other people call, total daily energy expenditure. DCI would be your daily caloric intake. How would you calculate your DCI or TDEE? You would multiply that number that you got, the activity level for your specific gender, by your body weight. So let's just say you weigh, this is going to be for female, male. Let's just say this is for, let's make it simple. Let's say this is for male that weighs 150 pounds, right? So male, 150 pounds, and he's moderately active, goes to gym maybe 3 days a week. So 3 days a week, he would be in the middle, so he'd be like 15. So he'd multiply his body weight times 15. And then what we get after this, after we multiply this number, is we get his total daily energy expenditure, or in other words, how much calories he should be consuming on a daily basis. Well, I'm getting a number. So it would be 2,250 calories. That's how much calories he would need to consume on a daily basis to maintain that weight and that physique. Now, step number 3, we're gonna ask this guy, we're gonna ask him, hey, what's your goal, right? For now, I'm gonna just keep this number. I'll just keep it right here, just so you guys know. So male, 15, and TDE 25 cal. And then I'm gonna go ahead and erase this. Give me a second. He's 150 pounds. Okay, so we got the data. We got some of the data we need. He's a male, activity level 15, meaning he's moderately active. He needs, his TDE/DCI is 2,250 calories a day, and he weighs 150 pounds. Now we got to ask this guy, hey, what's your goal, man? And just to be, like, keep this really simple, I would just ask you, when you're thinking about your goal, just say, hey, how much weight do I want to lose per week, or what body weight do I want to get to? Or maybe you don't care about the body weight, which is completely fine. What I would say is, hey, shoot for, say this guy's goal is to lose weight, shoot for maybe a pound a week, right? Or shoot for half a pound a week. But for in this instance, once you got your number in your head, I'm going to try and just do my own, and I'll go off of what I do. So for this guy, he's going to want, his goal is to lose weight, right? And how much weight and at what pace? He wants to lose 1 pound, 1 pound per week. That's his goal. He wants to lose 1 pound per week. And now this number is going to be really good, because if you watch the metabolism lesson, you'd really know what and the purpose of this number. I'm not going to go in too much detail about it, but please watch the How to Fix Your Metabolism lesson if you want to know exactly what to do with this number and this number. But I'm actually going to just write it out. I'm not going to teach you the reasoning behind it, but I'll just go over it really basic and broadly. So what he would need to do to lose 1 pound per week is he'd have to subtract his TDE, or his daily caloric intake, 250 cal, minus 500 cal. Because 500 cal per day times 7 would be 3,500 calories. Remember, you need 3,500 calories to gain or lose a pound. Like I said, it's in the metabolism lesson. Not going to go into too much detail. So once we do this, we would get 1,750 cal. And this would be the number that he would need to consume on a daily basis, right? This is his daily caloric goal now, right? On a daily basis for him to be able to lose 1 pound per week, okay? If you like I said, if you don't know, just choose something like basic like this if you're trying to base it out and lose shed some fat, lose some body weight. If you're trying to gain weight, it'll just be the opposite, okay? All right, now just step number 4. Okay. Let's go ahead and save this number. Lose 1 pound per week. Daily caloric goal would be so number 4. This is more of the educational side of it. What I need you to do in this particular step is just listen. Or if you have that downloadable sheet that I attached to this video, please download that because you're going to want to use it. What you need to know to get the right amount of macronutrients, like you got the right calorie number. Now you just need to know what exact macronutrients or what exact proteins, fats, and carbs do you need to eat in order to lose and shed body fat as well as maintain a lean physique, right? You want to still maintain your muscle when you lose weight, right? That's the difference between losing weight and losing fat. Is losing weight, you can lose muscle too. Losing fat, you're keeping as much muscle as you can as well as losing unnecessary weight. So, carbs per gram. Now. Okay, so if you didn't know already, per every gram of carb, it would equal 4 calories. Per every gram of fat, it would be 9 calories. Per every gram of protein, it would be 4 calories, okay? Now, what we're gonna do next, I'm gonna go ahead and make a chart right here. I might have to erase some of these soon. I'm losing some ink. Okay. Woman, men. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you guys the numbers that you probably need to use if you're a man or a woman in order to calculate the right amount of grams of carbs, fats, and proteins that you're going to need to consume per day. Now, for this one, we're going to skip carbs. I'll tell you why later, but right now we're just going to focus on fats and proteins, okay? So fats, proteins, okay. So if you're a man or if you're a woman and you want to calculate the right amount of fats that you need to consume per day, what you're going to do is you're going to multiply your body weight times 0.3 to 0.4. Then if you're a male, same thing. Body weight times 0.3 to 0.4. Based on the number you choose, if you are starting off a little bit overweight or you're starting off a little bit heavier, you go to the higher side, right? If you're starting off a little bit lighter, petite, you're underweight, start off with the lower side. Now for women, in any case scenario, I would avoid 0.3 unless you're highly underweight, right? If you are kind of moderate, you're not too overweight, but you're regular and you probably just want to shed some belly fat, I would stay in between this range. Same thing with men. You're a little bit more inclined to stay in the middle or go as low as you want, depending obviously on your body size. But the reason I say that is because obviously women, you have more fat in certain areas and you want to keep more fat in certain areas. So that's going to be more upon your preference, right? So proteins, woman, body weight times 0.7 times 1.1, body weight times 0.8 to 1.2. So if you're a man, you're going to need to multiply your body weight times 0.8 to 1.2 in order to calculate the amount of proteins you need to consume per day. If you're a female, the amount of proteins would be 0.7 times 1.1. 1.2, 1.1, that's really the super lean phases, meaning you're trying to compete for a show or you're trying to get as lean as possible. The most I would say if you're just trying to do it out of, hey, I just want to look better, I want to feel better, the most I would do is 1 gram per, right? Or a body weight times 1. Since I said 8.8 through 1.1, 1.2, 1.1, 1.2, you'd multiply probably in the middle, and that's probably the best thing I would give you in order for you to lose body weight and not overeat protein and more than you should, right? So make sure you write this chart down, keep this. I'm going to erase some of the stuff. I might just turn this around, but sorry, I'm itching. Yeah, like I said, don't think about carbs right now. The reason being is in order to calculate carbs in, I should put grams. This is the calculating grams. In order, is it calculating grams or calories? Yeah, this is the calculating in grams. So in order to calculate your carbs, you would actually need the total calorie number. So total calorie number, which is this, and you would need to subtract that by the total fat calories. Subtract that by total. By the total protein calories. And the reason you need to do that is because carbs is actually going to be the difference between whether you gain size and gain weight and whether you lose weight. Now, it's not bad. Carbs is very good for you in the gym, and I explained that in a different lesson, and as well as energy. But it's actually going to be the staple on what helps you lose weight or gain weight. Now, that doesn't mean you need to eat 0 carbs or no bread or no rice, but that means you do need to limit them to maintain a healthy physique. Also, a lot of the good foods out there are carbohydrates based. So write this down, keep this formula. I'm going to keep it right here. I'm going to keep this number, but I'm going to erase up here. Okay. Okay. Anything? If anything, I'll put it up here. So he going again, male, activity level 15, 2,250 calories, and he's 150 pounds. Okay, so I'll keep those numbers up there. What we really need to focus on right now are these numbers right here. So the next step and what we're doing is we're going to calculate macros, right? You have the grams for fats, you have the grams for proteins. Now we need to get the grams for carbs. That's going to be one of the most important things, is let's get the grams for carbs, because we already got some of the most important stuff right here. Now, how do we get this number, right? The only number we really don't have, or it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get, is this number. The rest are pretty easy. As you can see, what I said was once we calculate the grams needed in this area, we would just multiply the grams. So I'll write down the formula up here. So to get fat calories, we would multiply the fats grams times the calorie number per gram. So it'd be 9 cal. Same thing, proteins, calories times, or equals, dang, brain fart, proteins, grams times 4 cal. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quickly right now, since I already have some of the numbers, or some of the numbers that I need. Okay. So, like I said, our example right now, he weighs 150 pounds. He's a male, moderately active. So we're gonna put him in the middle. So we multiply his body weight times 0.35, and that'd get us 52.5 grams of fat that he would need to consume. So 52.5 grams. Let's just round it up. 53 would hurt. 53 grams fat times 9 cal. And then I'll just put that as a block. Body weight times, let's say in the middle, so 150 times 1 would be 150 grams protein times 4 cal. So let me do this math real quick. 53 times 9, 477 fat cal. So I'll just put FC. And then 150 times 4 would be 600 protein cal. Just to make sure I'm right. All right, so perfect. What we did was male, right? He's right here. He weighs 150 pounds. We inserted his body weight in here. We put him in the middle since he's moderately active. He's in the middle. And we multiplied his body weight, which is 150 times 0.35. And that got him 53 grams of fat. And then we did the same thing, 150, how much he weighs, body weight, times the middle number, which is 1. And we got 150 grams of protein. And we multiplied that by 4 calories, right? 4 calories per gram. 9 calories per gram, and we got 600 protein calories and 600 fat calories. So those are the numbers we pretty much need for down here. So now our goal is to get, is to subtract the total cal, which is this, the total daily cal. So let me just reword that so no one gets messed up. So DC daily calorie goal minus total fat calories minus total protein calories. Okay, so I'm gonna erase some of this stuff so I can be a little bit more clear on what it looks like. Dang, I have a lot of crap. Dang, I don't know what to get out. Here, I got an idea. Formula, hopefully write the formula down. I don't need it, you guys do. And let's erase this, because obviously you know what the video is about. Should get a pickup board, honestly. Okay, goal to lose 1 pound per week. I can put that up there. Put that up there. 1 pound per week. Okay. Now, we got these numbers, so let's insert them. So carbs, carbs grams, that's what we're trying to get, but carbs, pretty much carbs calories first, and then obviously once we get carbs calories, we can divide it by 4 calories. So carbs cal, and then I'll just put carbs grams down here so you guys know. We would subtract DC goal, so 1750. What's your daily caloric goal? Minus total fat calories, which is 477, minus total protein calories, which is 600. Do the math. 1750 minus 477 minus 600 is going to get us 673. And this is going to be his carbs, calories. So this is going to be the carbs, calories that he would need to consume. Now let's get the grams, just so I can make it a little bit easier. How would we do that? We would do carbs, calories, right? 673. I'll just put it down here. Carbs, calories, divided by, nope, I hate that division sign. Divided by carbs per gram. Carb cal per gram. So that would be 673 divided by 4. 63 divided by 4, we get 168.25. Let's just say 168, round down. And in that case, we would have the amount of carbs in grams that he would need to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and erase all this. So I can make it a lot clearer now. And then we'll keep that formula. So all in all, we have all of the information we need to get there. So for a male that weighs, should do this. For a male that weighs 150 pounds, he's moderately active, so 15 mod active, and his goal, right? His TDEE, so daily caloric intake slash total daily energy expenditure, which is how many calories he needs to consume on a daily basis, is 2,250 calories. And how we got the number, we multiply his body weight times his activity level, and his goal is to lose 1 pound per week, which in other words is a 500 caloric deficit. Every 7 days he would lose 1 pound, right? And the amount of grams he would need to consume is 53 grams of fat, 150 grams protein, and 168 grams of carbs. This is what he would need to consume on a daily basis to reach his physique goals and lose 1 pound per week and get as lean as possible and lose body fat. This is what I would recommend for someone in this position. Hopefully all of this made sense. Now the last thing you probably need is calculating the percentage for you, the percentage of each of these to put in MyFitnessPal, right? MyFitnessPal will be the calorie tracking app you'll be using to reach your goal. Now for this instance, how do we get percentages and how do we know, right? One thing I forgot to list here, let's just do it right here, is this daily calorie goal, which is 1750, right? How would we get, and he would pretty much reach 1750 if he did all this, right? But how would we get the percentages he needs to know what to put in MyFitnessPal? Unless you want to buy the premium version of MyFitnessPal, the premium version offers, you can put in grams custom, but currently they only allow you to put in percentages of the grams. So what he would need to do is he would need to make this really simple. He would need to take the total fat, total, sorry, I'll do this after, total carb, divided by DC. So let me erase this section really quick. But what he would do to get the percentages to put in MyFitnessPal is he'd divide total fat calories by daily calorie goal. He'd do the same thing, total carb calories divided by daily calorie goal, total protein calories divided by total protein, total protein calories divided by total daily calorie goal. These are tongue twisters. And for instance, we already got all the numbers somewhere right here. So let's just do fat calories. So 477 divided by daily calorie goal, 1750. Total protein calories, let's 600 divided by 1750. Then last but not least, total carbs, calories, 673 divided by 1750. I'm going to do the math really quick. This will be the percentages that you need to put in MyFitnessPal. Okay, so 477 divided by 1750. So it's 27%. 600 divided by 1750, 34%. And 673 divided by 1750, 38%. So let me just add these up really quick. 0.27. So right now we're at 0.99. What I would do in this instance, sometimes you're going to need to round up and round down because MyFitnessPal only does even numbers. But in other words, the only thing you would really need to look at is your grams. So focus on the grams that you need to consume, and you'll pretty much be good. But MyFitnessPal, like I said, they want you to put in kind of numbers that are, what's the word? Even. So only 25 and 20, not really even, but they only want you to put in increments of 5. So what I would recommend for this guy to do is round down and round up. So for this, he'd do like maybe 25. For this, he'd do like 35. And for this, he'd do 40. And then pretty much reach those numbers and he's good to go. But if you want the most accurate, go for these numbers. So that is the lesson on how to calculate your macros. I know it's a little bit complicated, but rewind, use the how to calculate your macros PDF that I have attached to this video, and go ahead and reach your goals.